All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, 7 likes. Thank you. We're just starting. Hey, Hugo. What's up, Hugo? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hey, welcome, guys. Welcome in. Hello. All right. Okay, so as you guys have read on the title here for the stream, and also hopefully you guys have read the description box, we'll be specifically going over a certain group, and that is the biotech sector or biotech group, whatever you guys want to call it. Now, 8 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Welcome. Hey, what's up, guys? See more people coming in. Welcome. Okay, so now before we go into the specific singular topic for today, which is VKTX as shown here on your screen, I want to specifically go over the entire biotech sector first. So let's first take a look at XBI, or the S&P Biotech ETF. Now, I told my CFO Swinger Watch report readers and CFO Discord members that I will be looking out for a potential continued run-up in the overall biotech sector, and there's possibly going to be more relative strength in the biotech sector this upcoming week, or this week. And so turns out yesterday I was pretty on point with that, as we had a massive run-up in the overall biotech sector. And again, this is ticker symbol XBY, or the Spider S&P Biotech ETF. And so yesterday we had a massive run-up, and largely due to the fact that there were the companies that are making that obesity drug. Okay, and there was a major company that basically came out with some amazing data and results, and I believe the company was either Eli Lilly or either I think it's Eli Lilly, but yeah, I don't think it was Novo Nordisk's. But Eli Lilly basically came out and said that their drug significantly reduces the probability for obesity, right? And so that was huge news, and we saw all the other players in the obesity market having a large run-up as well yesterday. And that happened to be one of the beneficiaries of that run-up was VKTX. And so yesterday, again, we're pretty much on point with the fact that the biotech sector was going to surge higher and obviously continue to run up higher. Now, the one single thing that allowed me to kind of foresee this run up in the biotech sector was that the laggards, right? The laggards, the small and mid caps were definitely having some, well, not just some, a lot of room left to run up and kind of catch up to the leading markets like the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, and even just the Dow. And so I felt that just from the perspective of the technical charts here, that the laggards, specifically the small and mid caps, had a lot of room left to run up to the upside. And so XBI here definitely, thank you guys so much for those reactions there on the live chat. I see it there. Thank you guys, thank you. And so hey, welcome guys. Whoa, a lot more people came in now. Welcome guys, welcome. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you guys are liking what you guys are hearing. And so today we had a small pullback early in the morning, and then around the last 2 hours we saw a nice resurgence of buyers to try to retake that previous high of yesterday, which was for XBI 100.88, and it eventually did, and today it made a higher high at 101.11. And so as long as it continues to have this relative strength and continues to move on higher, XBI should continue to at least retest the previous pivot high points that's shown here, okay, and right over here. So this first previous pivot high point was 102.38, and this one is at 103.08, which kind of falls in line to this major resistance level at 103.50. And so I truly believe that the price is heading for this next resistance level. It should be a complete magnet level where we should be seeing another retest and possibly another rejection. Now, during this run up, Okay, but I just continue to see the overall biotech sector continuously catching up to the markets. And so if you take a look at IBB, which is the iShares Biotech ETF, this one looks a little bit different. It looks like this one is a bit more of a leading ETF because it was able to break over this major resistance level at 138.50, which I have had since back in, I believe, 2023, right? So late 2022 and early 2023 is when I made this observance of this level. And so far for this entire year, we've been using this as a major level of resistance. And then now, during that recent dip in the first week of August, that corrective dip, we saw the price coming right back down and retesting this 138.50 resistance level as a new level of support. And so IBB has continued to run up and just continue to show that relative strength that we really need to see for all the leading and lagging biotech tickers and companies. So with all of this in mind, let's talk about VKTX. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the weekly time frame here. So we have the this massive flag that we've been building for most of this year. So if you guys don't know what happened here in 2024, and well, specifically February of 2024, it had a basically the clinical results of its GLP-1 drug. So this is the part of the obesity market, right, where people are trying to basically, the word's not coming out of my mouth here. The weight loss drugs is what I'm trying to say. And so it showed really early kind of success in its GLP-1 drug. I believe they specifically call it the VK2735 drug. Okay, and it's just a weight loss drug, and or like everyone likes to say, obesity drug. And so this massive run up has allowed the company's stock to basically become a potential buyout option. And so the buyout rumors or buyout potential is still on the table for this one, which is the reason why I've titled this stream as Viking Therapeutics has a potential to be $100 per share, right? Because if there is a buyout, a major biotech company could be looking at a takeover of this company, of this specific company, to take its very effective weight loss drug. So for example, I don't even know how to correctly pronounce this, but Novo Nordisk, okay, or NVO, ticker symbol NVO, or Eli Lilly can become one of those competing companies that will try to bid for this specific smaller company, Viking Therapeutics, for its weight loss drug, or as they like to call it, the VK2735 drug. Okay, so I believe back in February and March is when they provided that mid-stage trial, kind of the mid-trial clinical trial results, and it was very positive. And I believe it's a injectable version, right, of the VK2735, which is again a very easy and accessible way to use this drug, other than an oral drug. And so VKTX has definitely been on the minds of a lot of people who have been looking for a potential buyout. And if you guys didn't know, there's a lot of M&A activity or buyout activity in the biotech sector because of companies like this, where these smaller companies are able to have effective results and just very tangible results on certain drugs that will completely shift and change a certain market, for example, like the obesity market here. And so, this company specifically has, for example, a favorable market cap where it can become a buyout potential because of the fact that it has such an effective drug. But compared to the market cap or just the market valuation to the leaders like Novo Nordisk or Eli Lilly, these giants, it seems like Viking Therapeutics is comparable to such valuations, which is the reason why most people have been looking for any type of buyout rumors from this company, and it seems like, again, those two giants, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, can become potential bidders in this buyout. And so this is where, you know, I don't have too much of information in the specific drug and what it exactly does. I'm not well versed in the specific biotech sector. However, I have been slightly reading into this, and it looks very promising, not just from a biopotential perspective, but just from the fact that this small company has been able to provide such effective results during their clinical trials. And I believe it's human trials as well. So that's very, very good, right? And so, you know, it seems like there is possibility for this one to continue to provide amazing results down the line. And they do have a lot more, you know, drugs that they're looking to test and put through clinical trials in their pipeline, which is great. Now, the only thing about this company is that it's not profitable. Right, they're losing money. I believe last quarterly earnings results, they had a one-off loss of over $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's something to look out for. But that could be another reason why a bigger company, a bigger valued company like Eli Lilly or Novo Nordisk can try to come in and buy out this company and just take control of their specific drug, the VK2735 drug. And try to use it for themselves and add it on to their lists of drugs that they have. And so, you know, everyone thinks that this obesity market or the weight loss drug market will become huge. And we've been seeing this anticipation in every single big company like NVO, right? NVO or LLY, right? Eli Lilly. I think today was the news where we saw that the fact that their drug can lower the risk of obesity by like 94%, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that along those lines. So VKTX, okay, now with all that being said, let's take a look at the technical analysis, right? So VKTX has, if what I'm saying is true, again, I'm not too well versed but in this world, but from today's closing price, okay, to 100, right? That's over a 50% run up from today's closing price. So that's a huge run up, obviously, right? However, we were able to get very close to that psychological whole number level of 100 back when we saw those early results, those mid-stage results of this drug back in February. And I believe the all-time high was at 99.41. So there's a lot of hype in this drug because of how effective it was in its clinical trials, in its mid-stage clinical trials. So based on how the mid-stage clinical trials did, everyone is anticipating that the end stage trials will be even more effective, and this can potentially be one of the major drugs that they can put out in their pipeline and potentially make a profit for this quote-unquote smaller biotech company. And obviously I'm saying smaller with air quotes because, you know, we're comparing it to the bigger biotech companies. So that was that big time beat. Here you go, that's funny. So yeah, so you know, it's one of those things where it's very speculative, but Viking Therapeutics is definitely one of those smaller cap companies, well, again, quote unquote smaller cap companies, where it can have a lot of potential, especially with the buyout rumor. But just from now the technical perspectives, it looks really good because in the weekly perspective, as I've shown you guys, it's making a massive flag. So it formed a nice base or foundation at this $50 whole number level, and with this descending resistance trend line here, we're making a very massive bull flag. And for the fact that we have been trying to get out of this sideways consolidation that we began since the summer began, so back in mid-June, it clearly tells us that this has a lot more room to run, and people and shareholders alike see further value coming out of this company, which means that the shares of this company will continue to rise, not just from a technical perspective, but from a fundamental perspective. And so again, even if this company is losing a lot of money and it's not profitable yet, I truly believe that this can become a situation where these bigger biotech companies will try to come in and swoop in as a savior of some sort and try to take control of its very efficacious drug here. There's this weight loss drug that's called VK2735. And so if I even look it up here, okay, this VK2735 is called, well, it's described as a dual agonist of the glucagon-like peptide GLP-1. So that's the main name here that people are using. It seems like this company has continued to do well, and people are still waiting for the end results of its human clinical trials on its drug called VK2735. And so I think with this, hey, we reached 10 likes. Thank you guys, thank you. And so with this news, I truly believe that if we do have that bio potential, we can be moving over 100. And I believe that analysts and alike from different companies and hedge funds are forecasting a range of like, I think it's like 90 bucks to like a high of like 145. So that's a huge range. Okay, so even if I take a look here, okay, of 140 or 145, I mean that's a huge run up. So that's a lot of potential for this company, right? So take a look here. Oops, take that out. Just from a closing price to 145. I mean, geez, right? That's almost 120% upside left. So, I mean, even just a run up to 90 is not bad, right? That's simply a retest of the previous pivot high points here, or at least the range of the all-time highs that it saw back in early February to late March. So, again, I'm thinking that we can get a nice long-term position on VKTX. Today, it had a very similar price action compared to XBI or IBB, or the overall biotech sector. And so for VKTX, I really would like to see this one continue to break out of this macro descending resistance trendline, or overall this massive macro bull flag that's been forming for this entire year. And so hopefully by the end of this quarter, we can finally break out of this massive flag and continue to break out until we hit that lower range target by analysts of 90 bucks. All right, I believe specifically, if I look it up here, yeah, so from analysts, they're expecting a low range of $90.90 to a high of 144.90. So I just simply rounded up and rounded down, I guess. So 90 bucks to 145. I mean, that's huge, right? I mean, this company seems to be providing a lot of value, well, potential value, obviously, since this is a unprofitable company. But you know, that's pretty normal for a lot of biotech companies. If you guys didn't know, they do a lot of debt financing to continue their business operations. If they don't do that, then, well, they're out of business, right? They go bankrupt. So that's the reason why they really rely on individual drugs that they're making for a specific market. And if they're not showing any promises and they have to cancel their single drug that they've been making, then that company usually goes bust and they go bankrupt. But you know, we do have one of these few companies that do really well with their clinical trials, like VKTX, and they again spur a lot of buyout rumors. So VKTX is just one of those companies that have been really making the rounds here on FinTwit as well, and it has really caught my attention too, not just from the technical perspective, but from what I've been reading so far. You know, I've majored in biology, but I'm not really well versed in the specific biotech sector or biotech market. So you know, there's one of those things where I really have to read into, and hopefully you guys can read it as well, what this company is doing, because it seems like there's a lot of unleashed potential that this company has, not just from a bio perspective, but simply what they're doing and what they've been developing with this weight loss drug, or aka VK2735. Okay, and so hopefully for VKTX, we can be seeing a massive run up and a breakout this week, and at least see a breakout over 68, since this seems like a major supply area that was able to smack the price right back down back in late July, and especially after earnings results as well. I believe, yeah, July 25th, and so it wasn't able to hold over 68. So if we do decide to break over 68 this week and hold over 68, I'll be very interested, and by then I'll most likely have an executed position over 68 bucks. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so hopefully you guys are able to understand why I've chosen this ticker for tonight. Obviously we were looking at the overall biotech sector, and I gave you guys the reasons why I believe that we'll be seeing a little bit more strength in IBB and XBI. They're two synonymous tickers for the biotech group or sector, but obviously, if you guys want to take a look at the kind of the leading biotech group, you should be looking at IBB. But overall, you guys can still use XBI as well if you guys want. I mean, it really doesn't matter as long as you guys understand which tickers to look at for the overall biotech sector. Okay, so XBI is the S&P Biotech ETF, and IBB is the iShares Biotech ETF. Okay, those are the two major differences. Does it make sense, guys? Hopefully. Okay, so overall, okay, VKTX, definitely had this on your radar. You guys do not want to miss out on major news that comes out, especially if you have those positive end-stage clinical results, right? I mean, that will truly catapult this company's valuation. It will skyrocket the market cap for this company, and obviously will most likely, from what I've been reading, will become a buyout contender, and there will be some bids coming out from the major and bigger biotech companies like Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, who are who have been a major player in this overall weight loss market. All right. Okay, so again, keep this on your watch list. This one definitely will be an entry point for me at 68, over 68 specifically, and I will have to see a continued bullish price action and momentum with accompanied volume, very, very bullish volume like we've been seeing today and yesterday. I love the fact that we had this inside day candlestick that also happens to be a hammer candlestick simultaneously, so that allows me to tell analyze this as a continuation candlestick, again hammer and simultaneously an inside candlestick, which again allows me to think that this will be a continuation to the upside and potentially give us a breakout over this flat horizontal level of $68 and over this macro and massive weekly descending resistance trend line here. Okay, so hopefully we can see a breakout out of this massive macro bull flag and at some point hit this $90 target here. Okay, so let me mark that. All right, and so for VKTX, we should be seeing again just a massive breakout, right? And hopefully you guys are able to use this stream as a sign that you guys need to be watching this potential player, a massive player in the weight loss market, and its VK2735 drug. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. I really want to give you guys this ticker and kind of put it on your radar and alert you guys about this specific ticker, because this one can have a lot of effects across the weight loss market and across all the weight loss contenders, right? Like Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. So hopefully we can be seeing, other players trying to potentially bid for this company once they provide even more positive results and effective results for its weight loss drug. Okay, and just a little bit of information here. So Viking Therapeutics is actually developing multiple GLP-1 drugs, and they're currently developing them and looking to put them in clinical trials. Okay, and so I believe they have the injection version and also the oral version, which actually was I believe I misspoke earlier, but they do have the oral version that first came out with the results, those mid-stage results back in February. And so it seems to be a risky bet to have a bunch of different type of GLP-1 drugs in development, but for this company, it seems to be paying off with such positive results. So again, with a multitude of different types of drugs for the weight loss market, it could provide a lot more bidding for this company for a specific drug, for example, like its oral or its injectable drug, and that can provide a lot more bigger players in the bidding market for this company if we do see more buyout potential from this name. Okay, but hopefully by the year end, we can be seeing this company over this $90 per share price target, and at the very minimum or maybe maximum at 100, this golden number, psychological number of $100 by year end. All right. Well, have a great rest of your night, guys. That is it for tonight. I will see you guys on Thursday at the same time, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for liking this stream. It really helps out with the algorithm